Well, they just found out too. What was the final? 70-69. And North Carolina won? Yes. That's Van Fleet, Baker, and Frankamp. Thank you. Caleb. And just in case you did not hear the final, Providence 70, USC 69. And as of yet, we do not have game times for Saturday's games. That has not been given to us. These games will be the winners. Duke will play Yale on Saturday in game 1, and Miami will play Wichita State in game 2 on Saturday. No times yet. Yes. And just for your information, while you're here, there will be news conferences tomorrow, Friday, March 18. Duke is scheduled at 1:35. Yale at 2:20. Miami at 3:10. And Wichita State at 3:55. That's news conferences tomorrow, today, Friday. And just as a final reminder, before we get started, please turn off your cell phones. No flash photography permitted in this room or video of any kind. And identify yourself and your media organization when asking a question, even on a follow-up. It's not for me. It's for them. Two notes for you. Fred Van Vliet won his 120th game as a player for Wichita State, setting both a program record and a Missouri Valley Conference record. Arizona is on its way. With Wichita State winning, it is its sixth straight year a participant in the first four has advanced to at least the round of 32. It has happened each year since the format was started in 2011. we are joined by Arizona student athletes Caleb Tarzuski and Gabe York, along with head coach Sean Miller. Coach Miller, would you please make an opening statement?
Yes, really two things here. Number one, I want to congratulate an excellent Wichita State team. When we watched them play both on film and against Vanderbilt, we knew we were in for a really difficult matchup. Their guards are terrific. Two of, I think, the best that are playing college basketball, and you know their defense speaks for itself. From the statistics that we looked at, they're the nation's #1 defensive team, and we were that a couple years ago, and to me it felt like that. They didn't just make it difficult for Arizona to score on them. They make it difficult for every team that plays against them to score. And you know, they deny and they pressure, and they're very well coached and gritty and tough. So from that, we lost to an excellent team. And you know, the seeding in this tournament, you know, you can almost throw them out. I think it's almost unfair to try to worry, is it a good seed or bad seed, because you know, there's so many good teams, and Wichita State, I think, is good enough to win several more games in this tournament. You know, these two guys next to me, it's going to be really, really hard to say goodbye to both. When we came to Arizona as a new coaching staff, I think we had a season and a half under our belt, and we recruited both of these guys. And I think when you think of the word legacy in college basketball, Caleb Tarzuski and Gabe York have a legacy at Arizona, a legacy of winning, tremendous people, great kids. And you know what? They led us as well as they possibly could this year, both as players and people. And you know, it's always sad when these great kids' time ends, but these two guys in particular, on the heels of some guys we've lost here recently, going to be hard to say goodbye to. And you know, we won 25 games, and you know, you lose in the first round, it's bittersweet. But like I said, I think we leave here with our head held high. In my mind, those two guys certainly should, because of how they've conducted themselves and how they've played for 4 years.
Thank you, Coach. We will now have questions for the student athletes only. Please identify yourself and your media organization. First question over here.
Damian Alameda, Tucson News Now. For both of you, Gabe and Caleb, what has it meant to you guys to be wearing Arizona across your chest for the past 4 years?
You know, you give so much effort and you give all your time to one program, and you know, you go through it for 4 years. It's you know, there's not many words you can say when it's all over. You know, for myself and Caleb, we've been here for 4 years, and we've gone through 4 10th Ward programs, and you know, we've done everything we possibly could to become better basketball players and become better people. You know, the name on our chest was so much more than us just being a basketball team. We had friends and brothers who have come through here and you know, have left, and you still keep in contact with all those guys. You know, it's definitely tough to, you know, have it all in this quickly. As seniors, you know, I know myself and Caleb both had more planned out for this season, but you know, I love Arizona. I'm always going to be a part of Arizona. I love the fans. You know, it's definitely a hard time right now.
Caleb, would you comment?
My 4 years at Arizona have really shaped me into the person that I have become. You know, I really owe it to everyone, all the great players that I've played along with, the coaches who have been like father figures to not only myself but the team. You know, I really want to say that I'm proud of this year's team for all the adversity that we've gone through. Everything that we've overcome, and you know, when I look back at my 4 years at Arizona, you know, I'm proud to say that I've worn the Arizona jersey, and I've been a part of such a great program.
Questions for the student athletes, right in front.
Paul Saltrop, the Wichita Eagle. Gabe, could you just kind of describe Wichita State's defense and how they kind of took you out of what you wanted to do?
I mean, give them credit. Like Coach said, they've done that to everybody this year. They're a great basketball team. Defensively is what they pride themselves on. And, you know, I had some open looks. and I couldn't get some of them to go down. And give credit to Ron Baker and those guys. They made it tough on every play to try and get a bucket, not only for myself but for all the guards. So. Yeah, they're a great basketball team and a great program, and they've had just as much success as we've had in the last 4 years.
More questions? Right here. Damien?
Damien, Alameda, Tucson News Now. Gabe, following up on that, what made Wichita State so successful in the turnover battle?
I don't know. They slapped at the ball a lot, and they just make it hard for you to, they're in the passing lanes and they're doing what they need to do defensively to be a great team. They're jumping the passing lanes and they're making the guards pick their dribbles up, and they're a good team. That's all I can really say. They played well defensively.
Questions? In front.
Chris Darty, Eagle Times. Caleb, to Gabe's point, they seem to be doing a lot of what they were doing to the guards to you guys down low. What were you seeing down there? It seemed like every time you got a look, they were doubling you before you even caught the ball. Is that accurate to say?
We have to really give credit where credit's due. Wichita State is a great basketball team. Their defense is unbelievable. They really play together, and like I said, they're a great basketball team, and team in every sense of the word. Ron and Fred do a great job of leading them, getting everyone ready to go and ready to play. They did a great job, and I wouldn't be surprised if they go on to do some more special things in this tournament.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you. We'll now dismiss the student athletes back to the locker room.
Good job. See you guys back there. Good job, Gabe.
We'll now open it up for questions for Coach Miller. Start right here. Damien.
Damien, Alameda, Tucson News Now. Sean, has this been the most difficult season for you as a head coach?
In what sense? Just no. I mean, we won 25 games. We're 25-9. We had an incredible conference this year in the Pac-12, and obviously we're used to winning the regular season, but we didn't. We finished 12-6, and we love to go to Las Vegas in the conference tournament, make it to the championship game, and we didn't. We lost to Oregon, who's a 1 seed, and we came here. And we had a tough draw, played against a good team. They were better than us. And so, from that perspective, of course, we're disappointed. The bar in our program is extremely high. And you don't want to bow out in the first round. You want to win championships. But I think what Caleb and Gabe alluded to a little bit with our team is you have to understand the culmination of so many different things that hit us this year. I mean, really, from Ray Smith, who never was able to play, could have been maybe our most talented freshman. Lost him for the year with ACL. We lost Alonzo for about 7 games in the Pac-12. You got to remember, Caleb barely played in the non-conference season. We lost Elliot Pitts, who's really a big defender for us, who could have helped us. And, we had a lot of different things hit us. But I think the resiliency and the character of our senior group carried us to this point. And as much as I would like to say, hey, I wish we could have won 30, we might have ended up right where we should have been. And now it's up to us to grow from it, learn, and come back with a vengeance a year from now, whenever, and be better. And a year ago, I stood up here at this podium a couple weeks from where we are, right, on the brink of a Final Four. I didn't know Caleb was coming back. I thought we were going to lose 7 players. So to think where we were then and here we are, this is kind of how it feels when you lose as many as we did and bring in a few guys. So it's up to us now to build on this and take the next step and come back and be even better a year from now.
More questions for Coach Miller. We have a question in the back.
Greg Hansen, Daily Star. When you called timeout 50 seconds into the game, what was going on?
The only reason I did that is we had 3 seconds to get the ball across half court with the new rule. So in my mind, against them on the first possession, it was a turnover. We weren't going to be able to inbound the ball full court on a spot throw in 3 seconds. If we would have, it would have been almost like a baseball pass. So I decided to get off to a good start. That was it. There was no motivation or anything other than that was the new rule. And if you call a timeout, you then get 10 seconds.
Question for Coach Miller? We'll start right in front here.
Paul Sallentrop, Wichita Eagle. When Caleb gets 3 shots, is that an indication they're doing a pretty good job of, keeping the ball out of his hands?
No question. And you know what? He got a lot more catches than that. It's a little deceiving. How many free throws did he shoot? 7 or 8. He got fouled, so I think that's part of it. But they did a nice job crowding. Look, they did a nice job defensively in every area. When we started to watch them, I could not believe. I think coming into the game, they forced the 5th most turnovers in the nation. That's hard to do when you play man-to-man and you don't press. So you feel it when you're out there. Their pressure is everywhere. And, Greg Marshall, he does a great job, man. You're envious when you see a group of guys play that well together. And Fred Van Vliet, I told him after the game, please don't let anybody tell you you're not going to play in the NBA. We lived that last year with T.J. McConnell. That guy will play in the NBA, and he'll be there for a long, long time. He's in total control of the game, and he's better on defense than he is on offense. And they have a 2-guard who's kind of the same in Baker. And when you put those 2 guys out there together, considering the experience they have, it's not a good feeling playing against Wichita State. They're an excellent basketball team.
We had a question right up here.
Chris Daugherty, Eagle Times. Coach, 2-part question. In your opening statement, you mentioned the legacy that these guys leave behind. What type of impact does that legacy build going forward? And then you mentioned also it's tough to replace so many seniors as they leave, and not even seniors, but just replacing players.
Yeah, I wish they were seniors.
How do you try to replace this type of senior class, such a talented group of kids?
Yeah, no question. We're going to miss those guys, their leadership, their character, their resolve. And, Ryan Anderson was a first-team All-Pac-12 performer in his year with us. Caleb and Gabe both were All-Pac-12 performers. Caleb was on the all-defensive team. I think Caleb tied or broke, depending on who you talk to, the all-time win record in Arizona history. Consider the great players that have played in our program. I mean, it's incredible. And a lot of those great players back then stayed 4 years. So, thinking about Gabe and Caleb and Wichita State will be like this when and if their season ends. They may go all the way. I don't know. But you're going to look back and say, they went to 2 Elite Eights, Sweet 16. They've won no less than 25 games in their 4 years, won 30 or more twice. 2 Pac-12 championships, a Pac-12 tournament championship. I mean, they've been a part of some great moments. So that's the legacy more than anything. In Gabe's case, I think he leaves as one of the all-time great 3-point shooters in school history. Caleb rebounding, block shots, games played, wins. So when you have guys that have worked as hard as they have and won, no doubt you'll feel their effects. But when you watch us play next year, we're going to have some of the guys who are part of this year's team improved and better. And it's an important recruiting class. And I think for us to be able to hit it out of the park in the next month is big. Hopefully we can do that.
Are there any more questions? Okay, last question.
Paul Sallentrop, Wichita Eagle. Yeah, Fred being better on defense than offense. Expand on that a little bit. Why do you say that?
I mean, he just he dominates the ball. He forces your point guard to do things that he normally doesn't do. I thought he disrupted our point guard for most of the game. And then at the end, I think Wichita State started to get tired at the end, and understandably so. But for most of the game, things that we've done, I mean, we averaged 81 points a game this year. Like, we're a much better offensive team than a defensive team. As much as I like to be better on defense, we never, not one game this year, I don't think, you can look it up, had problems scoring. And even in our losses, we've scored. but tonight we couldn't score. I mean, they held an 81 point per game team to 55, and we really struggled to get 55. You know, Gabe mentioned he missed a couple shots. I don't think we had many. I feel guilty. I wish I could have done a better job helping our guys on offense because we struggled. And again, when you play against a defense that talented, ferocious, disciplined, tough, you have to be great at what you do, and that's what's going to be required to beat them.
Okay, thank you. We are now joined by Wichita State student athletes Ron Baker, Connor Frankamp, and Fred Van Fleet, along with head coach Greg Marshall. And Coach Marshall, would you please make an opening statement?
Yes. Tremendous amount of respect for Sean and the job he does at Arizona. And also, Ron and Fred were able to spend some time with Tarczewski, and you watch York on film. Those guys are great players, but they're more importantly they're great people. And you know, I hate to see those guys lose. I really like Sean and his program, and because of how they play, and they play the right way. But it was our night. Our defense carried the way, and to beat a team like Arizona, the way we did. Is just a testament to these young men to my right and their toughness, their resolve, their determination, and their ability to get in a defensive stance each and every possession and make the right reads and the right slides and the right rotations and hold a team like that to 55.
We will now open up to questions for the student athletes only. Again, please identify yourself and your media organization. Question for the student athletes.
Sean Flynn, Breitbart. Questions for Ron. Could you talk about the player development at Wichita State and the things that you guys have done in skill development over the years that have changed you and changed the guys around you?
Well, coming in, I was always a guy that tried to push myself to get better, and that definitely helps. But then when you get with a group of guys that like to push you as a teammate, that helps. And then you get coaches that I have that push you in different drills and different skill developments in the off season, and it really gets your confidence as a player up to a new level. And that's when you start becoming a true player, and that's definitely what I've gotten since I've been at Wichita State.
More questions right up here.
Paul Sallentrop, Wichita Eagle. Fred, they average 81 points a game. You held them to 55. Just kind of take us through the defensive effort and why you're able to be so effective.
It's big time effort, big time game plan. We're talking about coaches that are skipping sleep and really just locking in this time of year and putting everything that we got into one common goal. I think disrupting our timing was big. I thought our bigs did a great job of pushing some of those guys out. I mean, they're huge, so when they catch it, you want them as far away from the basket as possible. Obviously, I was able to have some success early in terms of just being around the ball, being able to make a play, and helping guys out a little bit, trying to disrupt their timing and just trying to make it tough on them.
More questions for the student athletes? Okay, go right here again.
Yeah, Fred, when you're doubling, how much of that is just strictly part of the plan, and how much of it is you just, with a feel?
I mean, most of it is in the game plan. When it's in the post, that's all the coaches and just me trusting my teammates that are going to help me when they kick it out. A couple of times I just made some plays and got lucky. The one when Trier drove it, I think I just made a break on the ball and was able to come up with it. So just trying to be aggressive and, like I said, if I was a big guy, I would not want to guard those guys down there by myself. So I was thinking about that and just trying to give them as much help as possible and just make it tough on the other team. And just, talking about 81 points, a lot of that is timing and feel good. And I know on our end, it's always tough when a team is out pressuring and denying, trying to disrupt your timing. So just try to get that into the game.
We have a question in front.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Connor, the bench tonight, 27-8 advantage. I think you and Marquise were a plus 30 combined in the minutes that you played. How important was that contribution to this win?
It was very important. The starters got out to a good lead, and we always try to come in and try to push the lead up and play hard. And Marcus had a great game, and the starters came out and started the game really well for us.
Any more questions for the student athletes in front?
Yeah, Fred, I know you said you got to have guys step up in March, and a lot of guys have in these two games. Did you see that coming, that building with some of these guys, that they were going to be ready?
Yeah, it's just sometimes just the way it happens. Obviously, you would have liked to have it a lot earlier in the season, but we went through what we went through, all the adversity throughout the year. It's been a hard-fought year, and when our names popped up Selection Sunday, it was, like I said, just a breath of fresh air, and we could put all that behind us. And these guys have been huge both games. Connor, Marcus, you're talking about Shaq, Rano, Nerger, Zach Brown, all young guys that have been playing a huge role. Rashard Kelly as well. I think he took 2 or 3 charges tonight. So it's going to take more than me and Ron to be able to get these wins. And the last 2 games we've been able to do that. So give these guys a ton of credit.
Are there any more questions? Right up in front here.
John Kikis with the Associated Press. Ron, what did you think when Sean Miller called timeout in the first minute with you guys diving on the floor? Did you feel like that was an omen of what was going to happen?
I was kind of surprised he called timeout early, but then I realized he was trying to avoid a 10-second count. He got the timeout with the ball on the baseline to get a new 10. But that was kind of a statement from the go that we were going to start the game playing hard and finish the same way.
Okay, last question, right here.
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Ron, they went about 10 minutes without a field goal there in the first half. When you're playing possession by possession, are you guys conscious of the fact that they haven't scored in a long time and they haven't put the ball in the basket for a long time?
As a player, the game goes so quick, you don't even think about that. You try your best to put your feet in the court and get stops. A lot of times, as you saw, we don't shoot the ball as well from 3 as we want to. So a lot of our offense comes from our defense. And today, our guys at the rim were altering shots, and we were keeping them off the glass early on in that 10-minute span, and we were getting good looks on the offensive end because of our defense.
Okay, thank you. We'll now send the student athletes back to the locker room. Thank you. We will now open up for questions with Coach Marshall. Questions? Question over here.
Sean Flynn, Breitbart. Coach Marshall, can you talk about, same question I asked Ron, skill development specifically with someone like Ron in the 5 years there and where you rank skill development along with recruiting and schemes at a place like Wichita State in order to do what you do?
Well, we don't normally get the 5-star or even 4-star recruits. I mean, we're starting to get a few. Marcus McDuffie was very highly rated. Connor Frankamp, as a transfer from Kansas, was a top 100 guy. Landry Shamet, who will seek a medical red shirt after only playing 3 games this year and breaking his foot, was another top 100. So all of a sudden our success is helping us land some more coveted players coming in, but the stars really don't matter to us. We try to get guys that want to be part of something bigger than themselves, are willing to put the time in skill development, body development by getting in the weight room with our strength and conditioning coach, Kerry Rosenboom, who does a tremendous job, and buying into falling in love with, if you will, the process of becoming great. And these guys are very coachable. They're everyday guys, and they work extremely hard, and then they also listen and execute a game plan very well, because they understand that we're going to be a little undersized more than likely, give up a few pounds, a few inches, but it's hard to measure what's inside a young man in terms of his heart. And very rarely do we get pushed around in that category. Yeah, you know, my wife and I were laughing on the trip up here. Someone posted a picture of him from his Scott City days, his senior year, and he actually had a perm. He had curly, really curly hair. His hair's naturally curly, but this was really curly, like an afro curly, and his arms were about as big around as this cup, and but he's got broad shoulders, and he's got big hands. He's country strong is what I say, and he's developed his body, and he puts on a defensive clinic. Mr. Roby from the NCAA selection committee from Northeastern is obviously a basketball guy, and he paid Ron a beautiful compliment as I was walking off the court. He goes, "Ron Baker's never in the wrong position. Ron Baker is one of the hardest working defenders I've ever seen." And then you add Fred Van Vliet to that, 5 steals tonight. You got a pretty good defensive backcourt, and that's, you know, obviously we're not the most beautiful team offensively, but they more than hold their own defensively.
More questions? Go right in front.
Paul Salentrop, Wichita Eagle. Greg, you're going to take us to the game plan against their big men. They were obviously going to pound it inside, and you were able to be pretty effective against them.
Yeah, our goal was to try to deny them the ball as much as we could. Again, Tarzewski's huge. He ends up with 2 baskets, only 3 shots. We fouled him quite a number of times when he was able to get the rebound, because he's so big and physical and strong and works hard to gain that positive position. Anderson has 4 field goals and 8 baskets. He does not get his double-double tonight. He goes for 11 and 8. And then Ristic has 1 basket. So we gave up 7 baskets to those 3 guys, a total of 18 points in the league. And if I think Fred is similar. Sean would obviously know. He played at a high level. And I don't know how long he played in the NBA or if he played in the NBA, but I know he's a great college player at Pitt. And these guys are going to go somewhere if they get the right opportunity and the right situation. The more you watch them, the more you practice with them, the more you see them do the right thing every day, every way, they'll wear on you, and ultimately they'll get on the floor, and then you'll see the scoreboard go in the right direction and the win column improve, and then someone will give them a second contract.
Questions? Did you have a question, Bill?
Bill Koch with the Providence Journal. Coach, you're now 9-3 in your last 4 trips to the NCAA. That's the same record as Michigan State and Wisconsin, and it's 1 game behind Duke, who's 10-2. What does it say about your program to be keeping that sort of company?
Especially with the seedings that we normally get. We get Kentucky when we're a 1 as an 8, and this year we're 11B, and we go to Dayton, and last year we were 7. Probably should have been a 4 or 5, but it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter once you get in the tournament. It's all about the team that you're playing, not the number in front of it. And that's what I love about the NCAA tournament. That's what our players love, because we get an opportunity to play in Arizona. Unless we play them in an exempt tournament, we're not going to get a chance to play in Arizona. We would love to play in Arizona, home and home on a yearly basis, because I think it would obviously make us better, and Sean would have to determine if it would make his team better. But we know that to play teams like that in the NCAA tournament, you have to give it everything you've got, and our guys do that every single possession. I mean, I was so pleased with how we got back in transition tonight. We sprinted back after we missed, and we missed a lot of shots. I mean, we missed 35 field goal attempts, but rarely did they push it and lay it in or dunk it in transition. We were able to get back, get our butts to the baseline, and support that basketball and keep them from getting in the paint.
We have time for one more question. Paul?
Paul Stollentrop, Wichita Eagle. They kind of made, I guess, their last run. They cut it down to 13. You called timeout, up 53-40. How much of that was to regroup, and how much it was just kind of, rest a little bit? I don't know how much you were worried about fatigue, during that second half.
Our guys played a lot of minutes. 34 is a lot of minutes for Fred, and 32 for Ron, and when they play 34, 32 minutes, that's big time minutes because of the effort that they expend on both ends. So. I just didn't want it to get too much lower. They had made a nice run, and we needed to get the ball in bounds first of all and get it up the court and get organized and run some clock, and then hopefully either get fouled or do something at the end of the clock. We needed to talk about time and score at that point. And, I had timeouts to burn. I think I had a couple still left at the end of the game.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you Saturday.
Okay.